Welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Shows. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. I hope everybody out there is feeling as good as I am today. It's my birthday. I'm 62 years old. I just want to talk about some misconceptions of older men, or old men, because I feel good. I don't feel any different than I was at 61. As a matter of fact, but let's get right into this, because later on we're going to have a special live stream. I've got some great guys that's going to join the panel, and we're going to talk about growing older. But some of the misconceptions, first of all, is our vitality. A lot of people think that, because we're older, we don't have any energy, we just sit around waiting to die. But actually, I went to the gym yesterday, and I'm going to the gym today on my birthday. I'm very energetic, man. I'm as energetic. When I went home to the United States, some of my nephews are 20, 25 years younger than me. And I have more energy than they did. As a matter of fact, it's said that the way you take care of yourself in the 30s will show up in your 50s and 60s. And I believe that. See, I stopped drinking and getting high and stuff and taking better care of myself at 34. I was about to turn 35. So yeah, that's one misconception, man, because I got a lot of strength. As you can see, it's not just only, the genetics. I work at this, man. I drink, 2 to 3 liters of water every day. But that's the biggest misconception, I think. Another one is, we're not interested in relationships. And we don't want the booty anymore. That's bullshit. Okay? That's not true, man. We still want companionship. We still want to be sexually active, those of us who can. It's a misconception. That all we want is just, to be alone. Because a lot of guys over here are alone. But no, we want relationships. Not just loving relationships, but we want friendship. A lot of us are still in the business. But to think that we're not interested in a relationship, that's foolishness. See, today's my birthday, but every day is my birthday over here. They're going to make a big deal out of it. Certainly not the way they do in America, but they're going to make a big deal out of my birthday today. They'll make a special meal and a cake, but honestly, every day is my birthday over here. The special things that I get here today, I get every day. Certainly in the bedroom. But I know in America, the only time I would get anything special, anything extra, would be on my birthday or the anniversary, maybe New Year's Eve if she drank too much. But every day is my birthday over here. No, we still want relationships. A lot of times guys come over here, they want a younger woman. So that's one misconception. I don't have a whole shelf full of medications in there. See, that's another misconception, that we have bad health and we're in and out of the doctor's office all the time. I'm not on one prescription medication at 62, and I'm not going to knock on any wood. I'm just going to continue to do what I do on a daily basis. I'm not superstitious and all that. I'm not going to knock on any wood. Oh, knock on wood. No. I'm just going to continue to exercise, eat as well as I know how to eat, drink plenty of water. That's what I'm going to do, but they think that we're walking around bent over on a cane or in a wheelchair or a walker. No. When you get older, man, that's just an age, man, to me. Yeah, we're closer to the grave. I'm not going to bullshit you about that. Everybody knows that. We're in the fourth quarter. But I'm not broken down. I don't need help with my daily activities of living or anything like that. I can still wipe my behind. I do not wear a diaper and all that other foolishness that people, equate with being old or older. I don't even consider 62 old. I guess if I'm Booby's age, she has no conception though. But I was telling Marilyn yesterday, because she started making some remarks about, yeah, you're probably going to leave the gym before I do. I said, well, as if, because I'm older. I said, look, Marilyn, you can only dream of being in my shape when you get 62. Will you even be alive at 62? Okay, see, that's the blessing. There's a blessing in growing old. But yeah, she got quiet real quick. I'm like, you can only dream. I mean, how many other 62-year-old men do you see in that gym over there? Cricket. Zero. That's right. Now, a good friend of mine, he's a religious guy. He was there yesterday, but he's in his 50s. I think he's 58, which is still good. But there's nobody else over there at 62. I'm like their grandfather over there. Most of those people over there, they're young. They're very young. But that's a misconception. That we're broke. That's another misconception. All you got is your pension and all of that. Well, that's not true. I've been able to come over here and work miracles, really, with my finances, with my credit. If I had to go back to America now, I'd be certainly better off than when I came here. But that's just not true. I own my own home, despite what people say. See? Oh, you can't own homes over here. You can't do this. You can't do. Yes, I can. Everybody knows it was my money that paid for all of this. See? Something that I wouldn't be able to do at home, but that's all relative. It just depends on where you live. I had no control of where I was being born, into whose family, what financial situation, and all that. But I really have a rags to riches story. When my father left when I was 6 years old, we went from being middle class to being broke. My mother was cleaning houses for rich folks and, AFDC, food stamps and all that. And I went without a college degree, to where I was earning over $200,000 a year, a 3,700 square foot house, a brand new convertible, all the trimmings that, that stuff over in America that we value so much, which thankfully I got away from. But no, we're not broke. And that's one misconception about older men, that we can't do anything anymore. Just sit there in the corner somewhere and get ready to die, old man. You leave them young women alone. Do I look like a dirty old man to you? I really don't. That's the misconception. That we retired, remember, we retired from work. We didn't retire from life. I walked from St. Carlos City to Dumaguete. If you're 40 years old out there just sitting on the couch, an armchair bro, you try to do it. Even if you work out every day, try to do that and see how easy that is. Because people just, they took it for granted. But some people really appreciated what I did. It was like, they would stop me on the street here and be like, did you really walk all that way? Yeah, I did. But I'm supposed to be old. I'm supposed to be decrepit, with a diaper and a cane and a wheelchair and a rocking chair. Miss me with all that stuff, man. Those are misconceptions, guys. It's all relative to who you are and how well you take care of yourself. But y'all gonna put that label on me today. I'm gonna celebrate today. I'm thankful for another day. Certainly thankful to be 62. I'm officially a senior citizen today. But that's all a label. That's all that is. Okay? I'm just as young as my woman in there. She's 43. I'm about 20 years older than her. If I wanted to, I could have a 25-year-old woman if I want, and I could handle that. Okay? Because I'm taking care of myself. I made a conscious decision to do that. Because some guy asked me, said, hey, do you think you was going to be in this good of a shape when you got 62? Yeah, I did. Because somewhere around 35 years old, I made a decision to turn my life around, to quit doing all that stuff that makes us old long before our years. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. I'm older, but I'm not old. Okay? Don't be fooled. Okay, don't think you can run up on me because you 45 and 50. I still got these things, and they still work. So if you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, find your heart to help somebody. Not a day goes by that I don't help somebody. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. Don't do anything stupid. Don't think because somebody's older that they old and they still can't mix it up and do all the things that they used to do when they were younger. It's not many things that I can't do at 62 that I wasn't doing at 32. I'm just better at it now. Okay? It's not the new 40. 60 is not the new 40. I'm just 60. I'm 62. I'm in the best shape of my life that I've ever been in. And I don't take that for granted, though. But there's a lot of misconceptions about older men and what we're supposed to do with our lives as we get older. I've got a friend over here, he's 90 years old, man. You can't keep up with him. I got a friend 81 over here, 74. Okay, it's not all you know, age is just a number and all that. No, we're our age. We're just not sick. We're just not broke. We're just not lazy. And all the other things that you equate with being old. And we're certainly not nasty. And we're not dirty old men. Okay? Because the women that I've dealt with over here, really my whole life, they sought me. They sought me out. I ain't come running up and, sweating nobody. I know my worth today. I know my value today as a 62-year-old man. So you can take me for granted if you want to. And you got a lot coming, man. So if you older out there, doesn't mean you're old. You make your bed, you gotta lie in it, guys. That's all I'm saying. If you're in your 30s, you better start taking care of yourself now. Because if you're fortunate enough to make it to 50 and 60 years old, it's gonna show. It's gonna show.